New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
So Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, along with fellow contributing members of the Reform Alliance, met on Wednesday to discuss reform policy, crime, and employment rates. I just saw the post on social media. So they're basically the founding members of the alliance first came together in January to announce their assembly and collective. It's a $50 million pledge to the organization's success, according to TMZ.
Now, this will not happen. The change we want to see won't happen overnight. With anything going on in our country right now, it's going to take generational work. Mm-hmm. It took generations for us to get here. It's going to take generations for us to turn it around. Okay? And I know we crack jokes and we want to see results and all that. We do that on the show and oversimplify things that are very complicated. We do it all the time, right? Because, we talk ish and we're lazy. That's what happens. Me too. This plan that Van Jones, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, who else? I don't want to leave anybody out.
It's a few people getting together for this.
But anyways, reform.
Yeah.
Puma's supporting it. But understand, and I didn't understand this. I just learned this. Van Jones has been doing this work for 20 years. Maybe more. We see Van Jones as this guy on TV that does interviews. Come to find out, the only reason he did that was so that he could be more of a celebrity and make this conversation mainstream. The book, The New Jim Crow, the woman that wrote that book and Van Jones have been working on this type of conversation for a long time.
Right.
To just get to this point. So there's been times I've been frustrated with Van Jones, right? When he sat down with Jared Kushner and had a softball interview. But behind the scenes, because Jared Kushner wanted something from Van Jones and ultimately Van Jones wants to get people out of prison, he gave him a softball interview.
Play chess with it.
Let me see. Other members include Philadelphia 76ers co-owner Michael Rubin.
Right, that's
Nets
what
co-owner Clara Wu-Tsai. And and Van Jones. I'm sure there's more people who are joining them, but this is dope. And look, and I know it's going to take generationals and it's going to take generations to make change, but it's really dope that they're all getting together right now and starting the work now.
I think some 4,000 people this year will get their sentences significantly reduced from this first step bill that we heard about that Trump signed, which was, I believe, and we can ask him when he comes by, I believe it was Van Jones's bill. Cory Booker, some other people were involved. Cory Booker talked about it, promoted it. I even think Kamala Harris was involved. But it was a first step in reducing some nonviolent drug offenders who had mandatory minimums. This was at the federal level. But still at the state levels, there's work to do. Because just because the federal government says something doesn't mean the state is going to go along with it.
Right.
So you still have to do that work. And that's the annoying part about politics in America, but it also can work in your favor if you're paying attention to make sure that things, like for instance, things that we do here in New York City that the federal government doesn't approve of. That's the checks and balances of our country. But we have to be involved in local politics to make sure that we can hold people accountable at the federal level. You have to be involved, and I think that's part of this reform thing and why they need so much money, because it's not just about working at the federal level. They're going to dig into localities and get work done.
The third season of John Singleton's Snowfall is set to premiere this summer. According to FX, it's coming July 10th at 10 p.m. So we'll see that again.
Yo, breaking
Super
news.
dope.
Breaking news for the first time in history. Miss USA, Miss Teen USA, and Miss America, all black women.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
And the lady who just won Miss America,
Yeah.
she's like a 27-year-old civil justice lawyer who gives her, her hours for free to criminals who need representation. Prisoners, that need representation.
Right. Oh, that's really dope.
She's a lawyer.
That's tight.
27.
Also, guys, just a heads up, Newark Airport is a mess. There was a bus crash at Terminal B Level 2. So if you're traveling to the airport this morning, if you're in the area, if you're wondering why the traffic is a mess, well, that's why. So plan accordingly.
Shout to Chelsea Christ is her name, Miss USA. 27-year-old from North Carolina who represents prison inmates for free. She won the 2019 Miss USA title.
Dope.
Tight.
Super fly.